Well, let's look ahead then to this trial of Donald Trump. We're joined now by David Smith. He's the Washington bureau chief at the Guardian newspaper. David, thanks for joining us. And as we heard at the end of that report, Trump has dismissed the charges once again here as part of a witch hunt. But when the case actually does get before court, do we know what his defence is likely to be?
Based on his past statements, I think we probably have some clues. I suspect he will argue that he was merely taking the advice of his lawyers during this effort to challenge the 2020 election result and therefore can't be blamed himself. I think there will also be an appeal to the First Amendment of the Constitution that protects free speech, and his team will argue the former president was merely exercising his right to question these election results. I think also because this charge is under a statute that addresses racketeering, and the indictment describes Trump and his allies as part of a criminal organization, the defense will try to attack that notion and claim that it was not so coordinated. It was more individuals perhaps doing their own thing, and therefore doesn't qualify under RICO. But then fundamentally underpinning all of that, I think, will indeed be this repeated assertion by Trump that he is the victim of a political witch hunt, that these charges are politically motivated. He will appeal to the jury and the court of public opinion that the election was stolen, for which, of course, there is no evidence, and this is all a plot by the Democrats and the Justice Department to prevent him seeking office again. He will continue to push the big lie of a stolen election, as we've seen in some of these other criminal indictments as well, and as we've seen Republicans mostly rally around that argument.
And David, keeping the US election cycle very much in mind here, what's the likely timeline with this case?
Well, Trump and the other 18 who have been indicted here have until a week on Friday to appear in court in Georgia. Some speculation that Trump, for example, might choose next week on the day, on Wednesday, of the Republican primary debate as a classic maneuver to upstage his rivals and dominate the news cycle. Failure to appear would lead to a warrant for his arrest and so on. And we've now become fairly accustomed to this routine. This is the fourth indictment in 4 months of watching Trump drive through a city, turn up in court. It becomes a circus. And then at some point after that, a trial date will be set. Fannie Willis, the district attorney, said she wants it within 6 months. But of course, she has to get in line. And again, in this extraordinary situation, there are 3 other cases, criminal cases against Trump. Jack Smith, the special counsel, who's overseeing the federal investigation into the 2020 election scam. He wants his trial to start in January. So we could expect to see some coordination between these prosecutors to streamline these trials, and of course, all of it colliding with the political calendar, the electoral calendar next year. We have the Iowa caucuses in January, more primaries through the early months. We could have this incredible situation of Donald Trump shuffling between court appearances and campaign rallies.
Quite a thought. Thanks very much indeed. David Smith for us there.